Hi everybody, welcome to another Storytime with Sid. It is me, Sidney of Hightower, and as it is every week, here with another story. So, this week we have a very cute and adorable story for you, and I'm very excited to get started. This week, even though it's the hottest month of the year, we're going to read about the snowman. Let's get started. I'm creaking all over. It's so wondrously cold, said the snowman. The wind can certainly bite life into a person, and how that glowering creature over there is glaring. It was the sun, he meant. It was just about to go down. She's not going to make me blink. I know how to hold on to my tiles. He had two big triangular roof tiles for his eyes. His mouth was part of an old rake, and that's why he had teeth. He was born to the boys' shouts of hurrah, greeted with the clanging of bells and the crack of whips from the sleighs. The sun went down. The full moon rose, big and round, bright and lovely in the blue sky. There we have her again from a different direction, said the snowman. He thought it was the sun that had reappeared. I've taught her not to glare. Now she can hang there and shine so I can see myself. If only I knew what to do so I could move. I would dearly like to move. If I could do that, I would go down and slide around the ice the way the boys were doing. But I don't know how to run. Gone, gone, barked the old watchdog. He was rather hoarse and had been that way since he was the house pet and lay under the stove. The sun will surely teach you how to run. I saw that happen to your predecessor last year, and to his predecessor too. Gone, gone, every one of them gone. I don't know what you're saying, my friend, said the snowman. Is that thing up there supposed to teach me to run? He meant the moon. Well, it's true that she ran off before when I gave her a stern look. Now she's sneaking up from a different direction. You don't know a thing, said the watchdog. But then, you've only recently been patted together. What you're looking at is called the moon. The one that left is the sun. She'll be back in the morning and she'll teach you how to run down the moat. We'll soon have a change in the weather. I can feel it in my left hind leg. I've got shooting pain in it. We're due for a change in the weather. I don't understand him, said the snowman. But I have a feeling that he's telling me something unpleasant. The one thing that was shining and went down, the one he calls the sun, I have a feeling she's not my friend either. Gone, gone, barked the watchdog as he spun around 3 times and then laid down inside his house to sleep. A change in the weather truly did come. A fog, thick and damp, spread in the early morning hour over the entire region. At dawn came a light breeze. The wind was so icy that the frost took up a firm grip. But what a sight there was when the sun came up! All the trees and shrubs were covered with rime. It looked like an entire forest of white corals, as if the branches were heaped with dazzling white flowers. The infinitely numerous and delicate network of branches, which is impossible to see in the summer because of all the leaves, now appeared, every single twig. It was lacework, and so glittering white, as if white glow were streaming from every branch. The weeping birch stirred in the wind. There was life in it, like in the trees during summer. It was lovely beyond compare. And when the sun shone, oh, how everything sparkled, as if powdered with diamond dust, and all across the snow on the ground glittered huge diamonds, or you might also think that countless tiny candles were burning, even whiter than the white snow. It is lovely beyond compare, said the young girl who had come into the garden with the young man and stopped right next to the snowman to look at the glittering trees. There's no sight as lovely as this in the summertime, she said, and her eyes shone. And a lad like that we wouldn't find at all, he said, the young man, pointing at the snowman. He's splendid. The young girl laughed, nodded at the snowman, and then danced with her friend across the snow, which creaked underneath them as if they were treading on starch. Who are those two? Asked the snowman to the watchdog. You've been on the manor longer than I have. Do you know them? Yes, I do, said the watchdog. She once petted me, and he once gave me a meat bone. Those two I wouldn't bite. What are they doing here? Asked the snowman. Sweethearts, said the watchdog. They're going to move into a doghouse together, non-bones. Gone, gone. Are those two just as important as you and I? Asked the snowman. They belong to the master's family, of course, said the watchdog. How little a person knows when he's born yesterday. I can see that about you. I have age and knowledge. I know everyone here on the manor, and I've known a time when I didn't have to stand out here in the cold and the chain. Gone, gone. The cold is lovely, said the snowman. Tell me more, but you mustn't rattle your chain, because it makes me creak inside. Gone, gone, barked the watchdog. A pup I once was, little and charming, they said. Back then I lay on the velvet chair inside the manor, lay on the laps of the whole family. They kissed me on the snout and wiped my paws with embroidered handkerchiefs, and I was called the loveliest and little doggy. But then I got too big for them, so they gave me to the housekeeper. I wound up in the cellar. You can look down into it from where you're standing. You can look into the room where I was the master because I was living with the housekeeper. It was a more modest place than upstairs, I supposed, but more comfortable. I wasn't hugged and hauled around by the children the way I was upstairs. The food was just as good as before, and there was more of it. I had my own pillow, and there was a stove, and this time of year, that's the loveliest thing in the world. I crept all the way under it so I was completely out of sight. Oh, I still dream about that stove. Gone, gone. Does a stove look so lovely? Said the snowman. Does it look like me? It's just the opposite of you. It's coal black with a long neck and brass belly. It devours wood till the fire pours out of its mouth. You have to keep to one side of it, very close, right underneath. Oh, such boundless comfort. You should be able to see through at the window from where you're standing. And the snowman looked, and he actually saw a black polished object with a brass belly. Fire was glowing inside, and a strange feeling came over the snowman. He couldn't explain it. Something came over him he didn't recognize, but that all humans recognize, as long as they're not snowmen. Why did you leave her? Said the snowman. He felt that the stove had to be a female creature. How could you ever leave such a place? Well, I was forced to, said the watchdog. They threw me outside and put me here on a chain. I bit the youngest squire on the leg because he kicked away the leg bone I was gnawing on, and a leg for a leg in my mind. But they didn't take it well, and from that day on I've just stood out here, chained up. I've lost my clear voice. Just listen to how hoarse I am. Gone, gone. And that was the end of that. The snowman wasn't listening anymore. He was still looking inside the housekeeper's cellar quarters, peering down into her room where the stove stood on its 4 cast-iron legs and looked to be about the same size as the snowman himself. It's creaking so strangely inside of me, he said. Will I ever be allowed inside there? It's a harmless wish. And surely our harmless wishes should be fulfilled. It's my greatest wish, my only wish, and it would be practically an injustice if it weren't granted. I must go inside. I must lean against her, even if I have to break the window. You'll never get inside there, said the watchdog. And if you reach the stove, well, then you'll be gone. Gone, gone. I'm already as good as gone, said the snowman. I think I'm breaking in half. All day long the snowman stood there looking in the window. At dusk the room became even more inviting. From the stove came such a gentle light, not like the glow of the moon or the sun. No, but only the way a stove can glow when there's something inside it. When the door opened, flames would shoot out, as they usually did. The snowman's white face flared bright red. He was red all down to his chest. I can't bear it, he said. How becoming she looks when she sticks out her tongue. The night was very long, but not for the snowman. He stood lost in his own lovely thoughts, and they froze, so they creaked. In the early morning hour, the cellar windows were frosted over. They bore the loveliest ice blossoms that any snowman could ask for, but they hid the stove. The window panes refused to thaw out. He couldn't see her. There was a creaking and crunching. It was exactly the kind of frosty weather that should please a snowman, but he was not pleased. He could and should have felt so happy, but he was not happy. He was suffering from stove longing. That's a bad sickness for a snowman, said the watchdog. I too have suffered that sickness, but I got over it. Gone, gone. Now we're going to have a change in the weather. And the change in weather arrived. The frost turned to thaw. The thaw grew stronger. The snowman grew weaker. He didn't say a word, he never complained, and that's a sure sign. One morning, he toppled over. Something that looked like a broomstick was poking up in the air where he had stood. That's what the boys had built him around. "Now I can better understand his longing," said the watchdog. "The snowman had a stove poker inside of his body. That's what was stirring inside of him. Now that's over. Gone, gone." And soon winter was over too. "Gone, gone," barked the watchdog, but the little girls of the manor sang. "Sprout forth, woodruff, fresh and fair. Hang down, willow, you mitten pair. Come, cuckoo, come, lark, let's sing. In February we're having spring. I'll sing along, chirp, chirp, cuckoo. Come, dear sun, come often too." And no one gave another thought to the snowman. And that was the snowman. Oh, 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 he was built around a stove poker, so the essence of his being was tied to the stove. That seems really similar to the thought of soulmates and human beings. Humans aren't, at least to our knowledge, human beings are not built around certain objects, like I suppose golems are, which I guess technically a snowman would be a golem. It's an elemental, it's built around something, it has sentient thought. Do golems have sentient thought? I might do more research into that. Anyway, it's kind of sad, but it's really cute, and I hope you enjoyed the snowman in the middle of summer. Or whenever you're watching, honestly. You can watch it any time. Alright guys, I hope you're staying happy, healthy, and safe. Bye!